I so closely identify with photography that I think it was just, it's who I am, it's what I do. You know, my name's been passed down to me. The name Ira has been passed down to me. I'm the 5th generation in a row with that name. And my father was a photographer. And when I looked up what the meaning of that name was, I found out it was a Hebrew name that meant watchful or observant. It's something that is nonverbal. It's an act of seeing, it's an act of experiencing, and it's an act of feeling. I like to tell people that I think being a photographer is falling in love with your subject. Every time you make a photograph, just a little bit, that you let yourself let go of all the pre-existing ideas of what something means to see the beauty of it and how it exists in this world. I'm still driving the first car I owned out of high school. I still wear a pair of cowboy boots that I've had since high school. And I tend to make photographs of looking at the past. And I think part of it is I like showing the deterioration of these things that were once new. And I like, you know, there's this balance between, you know, everybody says the good old days. And there's part of me that wants to look back at the good old days and recognize that there were the same struggles going on then as there are now. What was good had nothing to do with the objects themselves. So I was working with a friend of mine and we were teaching a filmmaking class. We did this mock interview and she was interviewing me and she asked me, she says, how would you describe the landscape of your early childhood? And I instantly responded, blacktop and yellow lines. Because I remember there was no grass at the school ground. We lived in a very tight, compact neighborhood, and everything was hardscape. And then she pulled out and asked me to show my most recent portfolio. And I hadn't lived in LA for more than 20 years. And here I am in Spokane, Washington, a completely different climate. And yet every photograph I was making at that time were these urban landscapes of buildings, and all of them had deep foregrounds filled with parking lots of blacktop and yellow lines. And I realized at that point that everything I see, I take with me everywhere I go.